How you doing, folks? It's Joe Value here for Cold Beer Sports on Wednesday evening with just one selection for tomorrow for my YouTube channel, and I also have one on the Patreon service as well. Great day on the Patreon service today. Obviously 2 selections and 2 winners, so happy with that. And yeah, confident that we can keep that run going now. We were long enough sorting out things. We were doing it wrong early on, putting in way too many selections, and we're just came together lovely now as a team. So onwards and upwards. So my last selection on the YouTube channel was yesterday. I had nothing today. Onward route. I thought it ran very well. It just got a bit tired. Unfortunately, when you're tipping up a horse 24 hours in advance, and you're trying to gather up all information, especially with horses coming back from a long layoff. And the trainer, Rebecca Mendez, she was interviewed just before the race, and she was saying that the horse will probably need a run, which is a bit unfortunate. Now, for I suppose 85% of the race, he looked the best horse in the race, and he did go very short in running at one stage, and he did go odds on, and I was hoping that he might just hold on, but obviously the lack of a run got him. Definitely want to put in the notebook and keep on side. And that's Onward Route. He'll be winning soon. I know he's a string of seconds and thirds, but he's been running against good horses throughout his career, and also you'd imagine that he had some breathing difficulties as well, considering yesterday was his first time back after a wind up. So maybe when the ground gets a bit better, the ground wasn't too bad yesterday actually at Newcastle, but when the ground just gets a bit more kinder on these horses, I expect the Onward Route to definitely shed the maiden tag. A horse tomorrow that I'm interested in, and he's definitely one for the future as well. I think tomorrow it's going to be tough enough for him. I think the distance is too far, but I'm going to put him out there as a small little each-way selection, and just basically a horse to keep on side later on. The name of him is Envious Editor. He's a horse actually I tried to buy a few years ago, but when Jessica Harrington had him, he started off his career very promising, but he was very, very disappointing, and I was hoping he could be a buy there for a syndicate. But the owner took him off Jessica Harrington and gave him to Gordon Elliott, and neither of them trainers could get a win over him over hurdles. So it was interesting. Now I copped him there a couple of months ago. He was actually running point to points in England, and he did win one. Look, he's a bit hit and miss, and he's a bit of a bridle horse, to be honest with you. And at 20-1 tomorrow, I'm just sticking him up there in the hope that he might just sneak a place, basically. There's a meeting that I'm very interested in for him in Leicester. It's an all hunter chase card, but unusually it's run over different distances. Like there's a 2 mile hunter chase, there's a 2 mile 400 chase, and then there's your traditional 3 mile hunter chases. But this lad, either the 2 mile or the 2.5 mile that day in Leicester. I'm sure that's the plan. I don't know whether that's the plan or not, but if he was mine, that's exactly where I'd be aiming him now that he's going running in these hunter chases. And I believe he'll end up in one of them races, and then he'll be a bet. Tomorrow he's just a kind of a have a look at him, see how he runs basically. So 20-1 or 22-1 I think he is. Envious Editor is the only selection I have for YouTube. Point each way. Even if you wanted to back him first 3 place bet there for first 3 or first 4 or something like that, he might be a backable price. But definitely want to keep on side, and hoping that the connections are thinking about that race, that meeting in Leicester. I was meant to check actually when that was before I came on, but it slipped my mind. Maybe it's in a month's time or 6 weeks' time. I'm not 100% sure. But definitely Envious Editor would be my idea of a winner that day. But hopefully he runs well tomorrow. Fair play to anyone who got involved in them 2 horses today that I put up on the Patreon service. And as I say, I have one there for tomorrow as well. I think, not sure, there might be another selection there for one of the lads. I'm not 100% sure, we haven't really discussed it yet. But everything will be gone through. We'll just talk it through properly, get the right horses out to you, and get the money in the bank. Okay, Joe Value for Cold Beer Sports. I'll talk to you soon. All the best.